Quaid Azam, Hot 351, 13 August 1947. Karachi is in a festive mood, but there is inadequate accommodation for the hundreds of correspondents and visitors who have gathered to see the state of Pakistan being built. My brother-in-law, Colonel Majid Malik, Director of Public Relations in General Headquarters, India, is now the Principal Information Officer to the Government of Pakistan. Well, the correspondence that I'm in fact reading for you is by Major General Shahid Hamid, and his cousin is his brother-in-law is Colonel Majid Malik, the Director of Public Relations in General Headquarters, India, is now the Principal Information Officer to the Government of Pakistan. He's being greatly harassed. All the correspondents expect the impossible. There is no Government of Pakistan, but it is being created overnight. There are no government offices, no ministries, no office furniture or stationery. Typewriters are a luxury. It is utter chaos. The Viceroy expected that by the 13th August, Karachi would emerge as a fully fledged working state capital and would be in a position to receive him, the King's representative. The first function was the banquet at the Governor General's house, where some 50 guests were invited. The atmosphere was tense. Quaid Azam made a short speech. I think it was the only time when he proposed a toast to His Majesty the King. On the contrary, Mountbatten, after conveying the good wishes of the King, indulged in a long oration which was not in keeping with such an occasion. Among other things, he mentioned that people often wonder why he brought the date of the transfer of power forward. He drew a childish smile by saying that the best way to teach a youngster to cycle was to take him on top of a hill and put him on the seat and then push him down the hill. By the time he arrived on the flat ground below, he would have learned to cycle. After the banquet, which hosted longer than anticipated, there was a reception outside in the garden. It was attended by over 1,000 guests. Quaid Azam was quiet and aloof. I went to him and stood close by him without saying a word. He looked at me and smiled. Physically, he looked frail, tired, and preoccupied. Somehow I could sense that he wanted the reception terminated as soon as possible. Mountbatten did not seem in a mood to go, trying his level best to charm the guests. Obviously, Quaid Azam could not leave until the representative of the King had left. It was not far from Quaid when he called his ADC and told him to tell Mountbatten to go home and that he has had enough of him. The poor ADC did not know what to do. He came to me for an advice. I told him to go and tell Mountbatten exactly what the Quaid had said. To give him moral support, I told him that I would accompany him. We walked up to Mountbatten. We walked up to Mountbatten and gave him the message verbatim. He was taken aback and said, "Of course I should have realized how late it was that Mr. Jinnah was getting tired." He walked up to the Quaid and apologized and left. What a day it had been. So all these accounts are by Major General Shahid Hamid, and who is the military secretary to Governor General Quaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Earlier I have read it for 13 August 1947.